Hello, I'm Thor, and thank you for coming to my channel, Forest Destiny. I hope you enjoy the shows, videos, and I hope you watch them all. So I'm here going to try to hitchhike again, and it's not looking good at all. It's almost nearly impossible to hitchhike as a guy. Yep. So anyways, I will explain my story a little bit here in French Polynesia. Something I want to talk about. It's beautiful out here for sure. It's wonderful. The smell is absolutely gorgeous, and it is beautiful. So I'm looking to now leave again, once again, try to start another life there. Here is not looking the best, but it could be. But during Corona time, it's very horrible. Let's see if these people will give me a ride. You go to Tamu? Oh, okay. One thing about French Polynesia is it smells very good. And second thing is Corona time sucks here, kind of, especially being a man. Almost, yeah, I think it would be okay if there was no Corona. Then you can hitchhike very easy. And but as a girl, when I've been traveling with a Canadian in my hostel, very easy for her. I don't know, it's women, you know. So if you want to hitchhike somewhere, make sure you have a girl. Anyways, I'm here. It's beautiful. It's magnificent for surely. There's fruit all around. This is mango. Here's fish for like a kilo for like 10,000 or 1,000, which is $10. And anyways, I want to explain about French Polynesia. So the women here are okay. The obesity level here is magnificent. Crazy. I thought America was big. No, they ain't got shit on here. And but the women here all wear flowers, and this is pretty much their tradition, which is pretty nice. I like that for their tradition or their culture, you know. And the flowers here smell magnificent. Absolutely just great. So anyways, I want to kind of explain how I feel here and what's been going on. I have not went to every island, and the way the local people kind of talk is literally every island is different. Every island you go to is different themes. Like some are for coral diving, some are for excursions, some are for luxury like Bora Bora, some are for fishing, some are for growing, farming, and they're different everywhere. And there's 118 islands here, so you have to be super rich to basically see even half of them. And anyways, yeah, not good luck with hitchhiking. So people here are pretty nice, and I can definitely see the difference. So the big difference is that about 6 years ago, tourism has really boosted here, like remarkably. And the tourism here is boosted. Well, when that happens, basically the locals start to not become as nice, I guess you can say, because then they're more just dwelling on money, 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 like the rest of the world, which is very sad. And even I talk to a lot of the locals, and they say the same thing, that like tourism here, everyone is just after money. And anyways, I thought it would be a little bit different out here. And like I said, the other islands might be. I just don't have the money or the time. Maybe in the future I have opportunity, but for now, no. You know, with Corona, most of the sailors aren't going. They used to have cargo boats here. They still have cargo boats, but the cargo boats used to haul passengers for like $5–10. And since Corona, nope, they stopped this too. You can see the flowers in their hair and stuff. So nope, the Corona. Hello. The corona has stopped this. Same thing as like even trying to hitchhike here is nearly impossible. So the people here are quite different. I will say that. Very, very, very different. So let me back up to the history of the culture here. Hundreds of years ago or thousands of years ago, people have been fighting. And the reason why they fight here is because basically whoever faced the ocean, lived on the ocean, you would have to fight. So all the village people would come down from the mountains and come down to the ocean to try to gain the property. And this has kind of been going on for a long, long time. I don't know why my glass is fogging up. Shit. Let me cut it off. Anyways, I've been out here like already 15, 20 minutes and 40 cars have passed me and not a ride. So good luck here. Their history is they kind of always been fighters. This is part of their culture. This is part of their tradition to fight, to see, but it's more or less, I don't know, they didn't really say that they used to like kill the people or something like that, as to more like just show mercy, who's bigger, who's stronger. And they still do this to this day. Even they wanted to fight me and see who's bigger. You know, I tell them, oh, my name's Thor, and like automatically they want to fight. They want to, oh, you're Thor, let's fight, you know. And it's like, whoa, no, like I'm a tourist here, you know. So if anybody really wants to fight, come to Polynesia. It's so easy to fight. And it doesn't even seem like the police really get involved into it because it's part of their culture here. And I've talked to people, with French people and Polynesia people that, you know, have fought, and they shake hands after, they drink a beer together. That's how it is here. It's just more or less, I don't know if it's a fun thing, but I'm not really in a position to do this. So anyways, this has kind of been their tradition for a long time. And when the French come here, they were using weapons and stuff. So they basically, the local people backed away like, oh, you have weapons, you know, we don't believe in weapons. So this is kind of how the French have ruled over here. And what I was told, like in the Marquise Islands, the French landed there first and wiped out 80% of the population. They say by disease. Who knows if it was disease or if it was just them killing them. I don't really know, but anyways, the fact is they did kill them 80%, and this is kind of how they migrated here through the Polynesia Islands. Even America was here, I guess, during World War II, and they're the ones that started the road systems here, and then I guess America just gave this land to the Polynesia. I don't know, you know, they all work together in one way or another, but anyways, the local people here are, you can see the difference, and you can see the difference of how the people are from what I was told to now. You can see, like, even since tourism has boosted up here, so even the local people, I asked them, I said, how come people don't really go fishing or anything anymore, and people don't really farm? He said, oh, these main islands, everyone is just on Airbnb. So when they do the Airbnb, they don't really have to work, you know. All the tourists come in and they jack the prices super high because it's island life here and beautiful. So this is how they make their money. And what has happened with the local people, the obesity level, well, at least from what I can see, is that the people have gotten lazy. So before, there used to be no supermarkets on these islands, only on like Tahiti. And then once one supermarket came, another one, people stopped fishing, people stopped farming, people stopped searching for food. People just would now go to the market because they already have the money in play because of the Airbnb. Now, how the Airbnb works here is the local people all own the property. The government doesn't own nothing. Maybe on Tahiti a little bit, but not really. And I'll tell you another thing too. This might be a part of the French government, but this is its own country. I don't know why it's not considered that for whatever reason, but it's definitely its own country, let alone the culture is way different than France. But they have their own money system here, they have their own president here, and everything is Polynesian style. So One thing I will say though is that the people here, and they own the land and stuff, and they own prime real estate because it's all islands, and they can't really build too much up on the mountains here like this. So what they do is they come here. Like I said, they've been fighting for hundreds of years to get the prime location of who gets the oceanfront property. And what has happened is, before it used to be kingdoms here. Each island used to have like its own kingdom until after France 100 years ago started to rule and conquer these islands. But before, it used to be all colonized by kingdoms, and each island used to kind of have its own kingdom and stuff. So all these kingdoms, of course, like in the past, kingdoms would pass their families' property onto the families. And what has happened is that all these people own all this prime real estate, and since tourism has boosted up so much, but the people will not sell their property. They're pretty clever about it. Instead of just selling their property, what they do is these companies, big companies, will come in and not buy the property, but lease the property. And they come in and they lease the property, and they lease the property for like 70, 80 years. That way it's still in the family, which is kind of like what China does too, you know. And anyways, this property will stay with the family, and these big companies will pay this massive amounts of money to the families for leasing the properties. And basically the families divide up the money amongst the families. And we're talking lots of families for one big family, you know. And these families now don't have to work because they have lease agreements, they get down payments, they make money on tourism and on excursions, and they make money on their property. It's basically free income for a long time. This is how they survive. This is what they do to make their money. And it's so easy to make their money because basically it's just land, you know. And this is why they do nothing here. It's quite very boring here. I mean, they do have some culture events and they do some singing and stuff, but it is Corona time too. Corona time is not helped at all because now that people are scared of people. Even you walk up and down, everyone has a fence and a gate, and everyone has a dog here. It's like, you know, what are you protecting yourselves from? You're on a stupid island. Like, I don't understand. Like, everyone knows everyone. If somebody robs somebody here, I'm pretty sure the people will eventually find out who it is. But everyone here has the mentality of like a European style, a Western style. No, this is mine, mine, mine. You know, stay off of my property. And yeah, I just see a decline of the culture declining in the future. Let alone, I can talk about the coral reefs are pretty bleached here. Very bad. I don't know why people say that it's beautiful coral reefs here. I can say that Philippines is better, and Indonesia is better, the Red Sea is better, you know, Egypt. I mean, here's a lot of reefs are dying off, and which is very sad because the reefs all protect the housing here. So in the future, 5 years or something, 10 years from now, if these reefs keep dying off, the houses around here that are on the ocean fronts might have a big problem. I don't know for sure, but this could be it. Anyways, so the people here kind of just want to fight and fight and fight. It's so weird, like, but hey, it's island life. There's nothing else to really do. You know, you fight, you talk about it, who won the fight, and then you fight again the next weekend. It's like an all-the-time retreat here. It's very like different. One thing is there's not many hospitals here. So if you do get heavily injured, you would have to get like helicopter back to Tahiti or take a boat ride there. It takes about an hour. Yeah, so anyways, there's nothing really to do here. There's not really much going on because no one really does anything because everyone's getting free money and stuff. And it's honestly, to me, it's kind of sad. It's beautiful, it's a magnificent place, but I feel like it's very sad here, and I don't see the future getting any better, especially with Corona, because if this COVID shit keeps going on, who knows? It can last another 3 years. Who really knows? And if it does, all the people here rely on tourism, and all these people have huge loans with banks and contracts with these leasing companies and everything. And yeah, these people don't want to pick me up at all. Ugh. This is another reason why I can never live here. I don't want to stand on the road for hours on a day just to go somewhere, you know? And these islands might look small, but honestly, they're kind of big. Like, if you go around the whole entire island of Moorea, it's something like 60, 70 kilometers or some shit, you know? It's quite big. Maybe not that, maybe 50 kilometers. But even still, you know, you can only walk like 15 kilometers in one day, and you're already super tired. And, you know, stores aren't that close by. You can rent out a place here. I find out you can rent out a place for about anywhere between $200 to $700 on average, depending on if you want a toilet, if you don't, if you want more luxury. I mean, you can easily rent a place here for $1,000 or $2,000 a month, but I'm talking, you know, budget traveler style here. Yeah, you can find places, but again, like I say, how far is the market? Like, the closest market to me, I think, is 8 kilometers away. And of course, okay, this guy here sells tuna, and I can buy tuna every single day, but phew, I don't know if I want to eat tuna the rest of my life, even though it's fresh and good. But so the people here are quite different about how things are regulated with or infrastructured with the French government. Happened over the years with tourism, and of course people mind boggled by money, money, money. And yeah, one thing is that I don't know is, how the hell did they get electric out here? I haven't looked that up yet, but I have not seen anything. I was so wondering, like, do they, must it be some kind of power plant on the ocean, or they're running power lines from I don't really know. But that's definitely a question to ask when you're here. I don't really know how much electric it is. Wi-Fi is not that cheap. Even a SIM card, you get $50 for like 6 gigabytes. And I don't know how much the Wi-Fi is on land. I'm sure you get maybe 25 gigs for $20, or it might be $1 a gig by land. I don't really know, but it's definitely not that cheap out here, and it's not that good. Tahiti was okay, and here is not that good at all. Nice weather for at nighttime. Daytime it gets kind of a little hot here, but it is like summertime here. And yeah, no one wants to pick me up. So sad. Anyways, I just kind of want to explain a little bit about how the people here are. I think I've covered like their history and covered how the people kind of think, the mentality here, and what's kind of been going on throughout the years. You know, it's Polynesia is very, very big too. It's huge. It goes all the way to like Easter Islands, to Hawaii, to New Caledonia or something like this. It's huge area in the Pacific Ocean, and they've had so much history. I don't know all the history about. You can watch movies or look it up if you want. There's so much history here. They've been here for over 2,000 years. Been sailing these islands for thousands of years. Been doing a lot. The people here have tattoos everywhere, man and woman. It's basically their tradition to have a tattoo here. They get tattoos young. They marry young. They start having kids young, and then obesity comes real fast after that. They do have like culture events, and they do some dancing, but like I say, during the whole Corona COVID time now, everything is kind of shut down. Everyone's wearing masks. Everyone wants a vaccine here, but some people don't. Some people are awake here, but some people are listening in on the news and they believe what they want, and some people don't. Wait around all the time for a stupid ride, you know. I've been waiting here 25 minutes, 30 minutes already, and nothing. Hello. Yeah, so not many people here speak English. Some do. Most of them don't really care about speaking English. They are getting the money in from Airbnbs, from their families. And their families here are pretty strong still as far as like sticking together. Cars actually are kind of cheap out here. I've heard people getting cars for like 1,500 bucks, which is very cheap for an island. Property is like crazy in some areas. I've heard Moria here is some of the most expensive property. I don't really know. I haven't really investigated all this, but the housing and materials is definitely not cheap, and all the people are you know, to live on an island. I talked to this one guy, and he lives like on a far island away, and literally he will get permits and stuff. That's right. The bus is gonna pick me up, but I don't have my mask. The bus driver asked me if I had my mask, but I didn't have my mask. Crazy, you know, dude. It's absolutely insanity here. So I'm gonna walk back and grab my mask just in case, but I've already been out here a half hour and no one is picking me up. It's kind of sad, honestly. And yeah, this is kind of the reason why I don't really want to stay here. Not the whole mask thing, but to wait half hour every single time. Oh, crazy. Anyways, I think I covered about everything. I will say some of the things like fruit out here. The fruit out here is not the best. It's very like sour. I don't know if this is from because this is a volcanic mountain, and the soil definitely plays a big role into trees and fruits and stuff. The flowers out here are in abundance and so much varieties and absolutely stunning, and the smell is gorgeous. That's the best part of being here. But yeah, like the pineapples and mangoes. Now it's raining. What a day. Yeah, everything, the fruit just is not that tasty, I don't think. And also, if you buy the fruit out here, wow, crazy prices for fruit. Like, fruit is crazy price here for like a pile of bananas. Like one little I don't know, one little section of bananas costs $3 out here. And the meals at restaurants and stuff, oh, forget about it. Absolutely insane. You buy a beer at the store for $2, but you go to the restaurant, it costs $8. Crazy prices. And a meal costs $20, but you can go to a store and get the same meal for $5 if you want to cook it. I guess that's about it. I just wanted to clear up a bunch of stuff. And if I have anything else to say, or if anyone has any questions, let me know. Peace out.